The Simi High Nightmare, written by Arvin Alvarenga Hernandez, a Dark Angel of Death 14 Productions, rated R for strong language, blood and gore, intense violence, strong sexual content, nudity throughout. Here we go. One day it was nothing out of the ordinary because it's like any other boring school day, but this day changed. Mrs. Paulino was teaching class, but then she had to go to the bathroom and left the class unattended. Then Randy took out a cigar and started smoking. Jonathan started getting pissed, and then they were shouting at each other. It was a slaughterhouse. Hair being pulled, noogies, titty twisters, and the worst of them all, which would be punch buggies. They started throwing punches, and that's when Trevor tried to stop it. And then Randy and Jonathan threw heavy punches, but got Trevor, and that's when his head exploded. Everyone started screaming, covered in blood and pieces of brains. Ashley tried running out of class, screaming, but then blew up. Then limbs started flying everywhere. Everyone was wondering what happened. Then Randy said, "I have planted mines around the end buildings so no one can get in or out." All the other classes in the end buildings heard the explosion, so they ran out. Then everyone started blowing up. It was a horrific sight. Limbs flying everywhere, organs and entrails wrapping around the telephone wires, and the water from the water fountain was red. Etzel was standing by the window pissing and crapping his pants literally. All of a sudden, Randy's brother Kenny drove by on a motorcycle, then did a drive-by on Etzel. Etzel was screaming and his arms and body flopping everywhere. Kenny then drove away, but he didn't see a landmine, and he blew up. The explosion was so big that it blew up all the buildings except N1 and the bathroom. Everyone was still staring out the window to the horrific sight, except Randy, who was still fighting Jonathan. Everyone is still staring out the window. Then they saw a boy named Dylan walking, who thinks that it's fifth period. He stepped on a landmine, then blew up. Dylan's head flew through the window, which shattered it, and Dylan's head hit Chad in the head, which knocked him out, and then flew head first into the TV, which shattered it. Then the pieces of glass sliced through its flesh. Then Chad's head fell apart onto Trevor's body. Arvin's friends, Hunter and Gooch, came by. Then Arvin started screaming for them to run away, but it was too late. First, a squirrel stepped on a landmine, which blew Gooch and Hunter to the sky, but Hunter's chain necklace got caught on a telephone wire, and Gooch is holding onto his ankles. But with all the weight, Hunter's neck started tearing like paper. Hunter's head teared off, pulling out his whole spine. Gooch, falling head first, screaming, "God damn it!" fell through the roof of the bathroom, getting his head stuck in the toilet. Gooch is trying to grasp for something to pull him out, but he accidentally flushed the toilet, which tore his head off, and when his head made it to the sewers, it was devoured by rats and vermins. Randy, who is still fighting Jonathan, farted and made all the girls puke blood out, and all their organs and entrails then fell out of the window onto the landmines and blowing up, with what's left of their insides flying everywhere. Then sniffed his own fart and said, "Oh my God, did I do that?" Arvin, who isn't paying attention and listening to his iPod, just doesn't know what's going on. He wants his music louder, so he turns it full blast, but the sound waves was too powerful. So his ears and nose start oozing out blood. His eyes popped out and spurting blood like a hose, and the top of his head popped off along with his brain splattering all over the wall. Rainey then pushes Jonathan, and he broke a nail, so Jonathan screamed and had a heart attack. Rainey is all happy, but he forgot he had an extra landmine in his back pocket. So when he sat at his desk, him and the whole school blew up. Mrs. Paulino finally comes back from her 1-week bathroom break. The door was locked, so she got her key, but then the door failed with nothing left of the class. That's when she sees all the bodies, blood, and gore. Mrs. Paulino was shocked, and that's when she said, "That's the last time I'm leaving my class unattended."